Hi guys, so this is a wonderful clip, a case of Tory eats Tory. The leader of the Scottish Conservatives, Douglas Ross, has called on Boris Johnson to resign, and he's been backed by a number of the members of the Scottish Parliament too for the Conservative Party. I've said this before, that Boris Johnson is kryptonite to unionists in Scotland. Every time he visits, he's smuggled in under the cover of darkness and smuggled out in a similar manner. You don't exactly see him doing a walkabout in the centre of Glasgow, for example. So the rift between the Scottish Tories and their colleagues in Westminster was probably at its deepest on Wednesday when Jacob Rees-Mogg shot back and said this about Douglas Ross.
Actually, for very many people, this is a very serious matter, not least your Scottish contingent of Conservative MSPs. Now, you have already said today that the Scottish Tory leader, who's both an MSP and an MP, Douglas Ross, you don't think he's a big figure in the Conservative Party. Tonight, we have been told that every single Scottish Tory MSP, that's 31 of them, the people that you depend on to hold up the union, think that Boris Johnson should quit. That, I would suggest to you, is a very serious matter.
Well, I would actually say that the Secretary of State for Scotland, who is a big figure, is very supportive of the Prime Minister, has made that absolutely clear. Douglas Ross has always been quite a lightweight figure, so I don't think that...
Oof is right. Douglas Ross has always been a lightweight figure, according to Jacob Rees-Mogg. Now, as I've said before, and what a wonderful sign of unity here. We have the Conservative and Unionist Party in Westminster throwing the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party under a bus. But maybe it's more the problem is the relationship between these two sides, the Conservatives in Scotland and the Conservatives in Westminster. Because I think Boris Johnson is really the catalyst here for this split, and it's not just something that has happened today on Wednesday. It's been something that's been going on for a long time now. As I said, Boris Johnson is kryptonite to unionists in Scotland. They don't want him. He's a real drag on the party, and every time Boris Johnson says something stupid, it adds an extra level of support to Scottish independence and the SNP. And this is going to just add to that again, because on the Scottish side you have the SNPs, the members of the Scottish Parliament, calling for Boris Johnson to resign. And then on the other side you have Jacob Rees-Mogg ridiculing the leader of the Scottish Conservatives. This is wonderful to watch. I think the SNPs, the Conservatives in Scotland, are playing the long game here. There's no benefit to them having Boris Johnson in number 10. They want him out because they're hoping that somebody else will be put in place that will actually help them, not hinder them. But on the other side, Jacob Rees-Mogg has to remain loyal to his Prime Minister, and anyone who seeks to threaten that position of Prime Minister, then he's going to attack that person, even if it's somebody within his own party. And in a sense, I think it's easier for Jacob Rees-Mogg to attack the Scottish leader because, look, let's be quite frank about this. Jacob Rees-Mogg doesn't care about Scotland. He doesn't care about many people in England, but his level of care for people in Scotland is much lower than those in England. He's an English nationalist. He's not a real unionist. He doesn't care about Scotland. He doesn't care about Northern Ireland. He's a Brexiteer, an English nationalist Brexiteer. And he'd be happy to sacrifice the union, be it Northern Ireland or Scotland, on the altar of Brexit. And he has already done that. But I have to say it's nice to see the Tories squabbling and taking a few potshots at each other. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.